Welcome back to the Ultrasim challenge. And we start off with Enzo being a absolute cretin as intended. Wonderful, while the family watches on doing cross stitch. We're moving along great with his negative character values. And he wants to make an enemy. I don't think that this is specific to childhood though, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I just realized he's also not going to learn to ride a bike apparently. So maybe that's where some of his inner rage comes from. Oh, and we're losing another tooth. I realized after editing this that we pulled the tooth out. We did not actually put the tooth under our pillow at all. So, so we're still working on writing in our journal for our character values. We're going to finish off the last of our aspirations today. Before we hit teenagehood, we still have to win a game of marbles. We want to finish the marbles collection as well, which we're probably going to end up buying them. And it's our parents' birthday. So they're just going to be adults now. At some point, this is going to be very macabre, but at some point, Thomas at least is going to have to die for us to get a trait while we're still living in this house, so before we go to college. Because he's finished his soul's journey, or at least 4 parts of it. So there we go. We're on our way with Artistic Prodigy. And we're off to school. I started realizing how much of time crunch we are on around now. And when we go off to school here, we end up calling out a few days later. Now, this is weird. She kind of does a little twirl a few times on her way to school. Not sure why that happens, but yeah, we're off to school. Yeah, so we got Servo over here baking some cakes for birthdays. Lucky for us, Servo, one of the first things I did was get him to get max cooking, and he did the aspiration, the culinary aspiration to get Steel Chef. Partly because, you know, it's just thematically appropriate, I think. You know, he is steel. Or tungsten, whatever. And partly because then his food never goes off, so I can have him making food for the family. So again, we still have no birthday candles. I don't know what that deal is, but yeah, we're aging up to adults. Yeah, and setting the table again. One more time. This is something we definitely can continue into teenagehood, of course. But just trying to bolster as many of my character values. Okay, so I had this whole hullabaloo. So we ended up in a childhood phase, but I didn't get to see her go into the childhood phase because I had gone to this store. This is a toy store that I had made. I have several retail shops. This was before small businesses came out. I made retail shops, and I had them owned by townies. But for some reason they wouldn't work. They were always closed. I couldn't buy anything when I came to them. So, for some reason, I had to go into every household that owned a shop. I had to sell their shops, all that kind of stuff just to get the shops working. So this is the shop. We are not going to purchase from it just now, but it has all the toys and collectibles and that kind of thing in it. So for my challenges, especially because they can be time sensitive, I decided to make shops where I could buy all of the collectibles so that wasn't the thing holding me back from finishing a level in my challenge. So, yes, you can go to the night market. You can buy some online. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go and buy the marbles that I can buy, at least on the computer. When I do purchase them from the shop, they are supposed to have a fairly high markup so that it is, detrimental to just go and buy them. But it is possible so that, I'm not waiting 45 sim days just to get an entire collection completed. The magical implements collection is particularly bad for that. So I bought what marbles I could from the computer, and I'm going to head over to the park now and see about playing some marbles. This is something I haven't really worked on with a Super Sim before. My last Super Sim series was before this expansion, which is the For Rent expansion. So yeah, I realized there was no one I could play with here. So I decided just to practice playing marbles, which is just your motor skill. So I mean, that's good. But I guess I wasn't expecting there to really be a particular skill associated with playing marbles. So yeah, I just started an after-school club meeting to find someone to play marbles with. She could have picked a better bear to be. She had to pick the pineapple bear. I guess it's better than the avocado bear. But yeah, apparently one game of marbles lasts well into the night. And I maxed out the motor skill here. And she's crying, so that means I must have won. At least this was my assumption at the time. And there I got the moodlet, and I got the milestone. Very awesome. Now, I don't know why they made it take that long to play a game of marbles. It's wild. But yeah, so I ended that gathering and we headed home. I wish she didn't get back on her bike every time she ended up somewhere. So yeah, we're going to grab some toys out of the toy box here so that we can play with toys for this aspiration. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, what toys you use. It also apparently doesn't matter if you play with emotion or just play with them, which is cool. So we're just sitting here with our former butler, Ghost. It's funny she doesn't get scared of ghosts. I guess since they've been around forever, but I'm not really sure what the game decides that is. But yeah, so we played with our toys. We got our milestone completed. And now we're off to sleep. And it is Sim Day today. One of the many holidays I added. Basically, it's a day we go and we mourn the dead. I did it specifically to, originally at least, make sure that none of the ghosts in my family tree got called. But I don't think it's really necessary anymore. I still do it though. Oh, God. Starting on violin is the worst. Like, I mean, it's probably accurate, but oh my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna just head to school. And off we go. Confidence down for whatever reason. Not sure why. Gonna walk in a circle for a bit. Yeah, and I realized, oh yes, she's not in her bear outfit. I'm not sure why she got changed out of her bear outfit to head to school today. But you know what? Be a bear. If you want to be a bear, be a bear. I support you. Even if it is the pineapple bear. Should be able to pick a different bear outfit. Alright, so now we're going to head over to the toy shop. It's Wonderland Toy Store. It's something I grabbed it off of the gallery and then I just modified it. I actually don't even know if the shell was a store. I think it might have been a house and a store. But I just modified the whole thing. There's also, like, miscellaneous other things in here, obviously, just to make it pretty. But you can see the tassels there. That's for later, at a later time. There's all the snow globes. There's all the void critters, all that kind of stuff. I like to put stores in my builds, or in my worlds, rather than just buy everything from the buy mode and that kind of stuff. I think it just adds a little bit of fun and realism. But yes, we have finished the marbles collection. Now I'm going to pull it up now on my computer. I'm not sure when we do the void critter collection off the top of my head. Yeah, so now we're mourning, you know, because we're finishing our holiday. Yeah, something that's weird that's been happening is I can't put Dana's photo there. And Dana was just Cleo's grandmother. Like, everyone in the house knew her. But nobody can put her portrait into that portrait, and I cannot figure out why. And Servo has known literally everyone in our family, because even if people aren't in the main branch of the family, they live at home for a while before they get sent off to live on their own. So, like, he knows all of them, but for some reason he can't put anybody's picture in. So we're just going to fill up our marble jar, mostly just to clean it up, clean up our inventory. Ah, yes, so we're doing the void critters when we are in Evergreen Harbor, doing the civil design and crafter careers. Yes, so I have switched her utensil use to chopsticks so that she can get the chopstick savvy trait. We'll do the Spice Hound trait later, but starting off with chopsticks is super easy. So now we're just doing our drawing of all 5 types of pictures. Enzo continues to be a menace. I support him completely. Do your thing. It's funny thing is he's getting his creativity skill up really high. So just going over our milestones here, we're pretty much on par with everything in the first section. We're even ahead for some things. Now in life, we just have to reach the top of a after-school career. Or activity, I mean, sorry. And then we'll be pretty spot on there. We're still working on our character traits, but we can continue working on those for quite some time. So, yeah. We're taking the day off school. We got other things to do. Sorry, we're already a grade A student, so it doesn't really matter. So without even really trying, we're getting our scout badges, which is great. I think there's only a handful of things that you have to do outside of your aspirations to get scout badges, so we still are playing terribly, but we got our aspiration. That's all that matters. We'll worry about violin skill later. let's put that violin away. Not touch it anymore. Alright, so we're off to play some chess with Mom. Played with Mom for a bit, and then played with Enzo when he got home. We played two games with him. We had a whole debacle with the reading with adults, because Thomas had some books in his inventory that he apparently could not read to us. And the weirdest thing was, even if we took them out of his inventory and gave them to someone else, they couldn't read with us either. So I think the books themselves were bugged. I got rid of them. So we got Mom to read with us downstairs, read with us upstairs. It's a bit annoying when they give you a time limit, like in this case, hours, rather than just read 2 books or whatever. Would have been a lot easier. But we eventually got it done. There goes the vacuum. Oh, there we go. Milestone complete. And we just got to finish our homework a couple times. So here we are donating a bunch of stuff for our badges. Honestly, I just cleaned out one of the toy boxes and donated everything there. Our next thing to do was do some fishing for our outdoor badge. I ended up getting that crystal-shaped seed. That'll come in handy later. I didn't realize they were that easy to get. I kind of thought they were more rare than that. So we got interrupted by the autosave. A necessary evil, I must say. But yeah, I'm going to mark that as favorite so that it can't be easily deleted. I'll probably hang on to that just in my inventory. I do plan on putting stuff away in, like, the keepsake box and such. But sometimes that gets bugged, so we'll see. So I had to pop into build mode here when Clea was at school. But when I came back out of build mode, she had left school, I guess. It wasn't that she was home until I brought her home here. But, I mean, I'm not complaining. So I pondered some moves, got myself some focused buff, and did my homework to get that. And as you can see, the aspirations are weird. So it showed me as not having done it before, and then when I did it, I got both of them at once. I don't know what's going on with that. The aspirations are also all over the place. It seems, especially if I pop into build mode, they get all messed up. So I'm just finishing up these emotion potions. And we got that completed. And you see there as well, I've already maxed out my motor skill, but it's not showing my motor skill as being anything. So I'm hoping that the aspirations get, you know, their stuff together. Well, now we got the motor skill. I'm just gonna skip through this. Bamf, there we go. All done. Again, there we go. We do have the motor skill, I promise. So, time to go home and do some more stuff. Off we go. I honestly wish the weather was better in this world, because it seems to rain. I guess probably not as much as Brindleton Bay, but it's been raining an awful lot. And it's like summer too, so it's like, I don't know. I feel like it should not be raining that much. Alright, we're gonna play some pirate. Or princess, I mean. Yeah, I got Mum doing the weather controller there. Seems to be the only thing that can keep it nice for a couple days in a row. Doing some gazing. I have not been doing that, and I'm not going to do that because it's dangerous. Get hit by meteors and such. So the 12 hours without a negative need moodlet was wild because it just completed when she was going to the bathroom. But I didn't get a pop-up for it, and it didn't yellow out. But it says it's done. So I could not figure out what was going on with that, so I ended up, I cut it out here, but I restarted the game. It didn't fix it. So I went and got UI cheats to see if I could fix it with UI cheats. I can't fix it with UI cheats. I can't fix it with MC Command Center. For some reason, it says it isn't done. Maybe it's because I kept switching from that aspiration to other aspirations to finish them and then back to that aspiration. But like I didn't have the time to stay on that aspiration for the entire 12 hours. So I mean it completed, but it just doesn't look completed. So yeah, I slept overnight in the treehouse, got that aspiration done, which I don't think it was it 8 hours or 6 hours, but yeah, it was cutting it close, whatever it was. But we finished it up. We're going to call out today again. We are not going to school. We have things to do. And her performance isn't even going down. She's missed like 3 days of school now. So, we got our plaque for our marble collection. I'm pulling the postcards that we got from our rodents out, putting them in her inventory, as well as the milk cartons. Generally, I wouldn't just take a collection that the family had gotten, but I don't really know how you get these cartons without the event. So, I'm counting this as a collection that she got because her mom was working on it while she was pregnant with her, so it still counts. Alright, and she did her typing game. Now she's just going to work on her high score. Still having the bug with the vacuum. Love that for us. And there we are. We got our high score. And we also leveled up in our video gaming. Not that it's high, but it's something to take us into teenagehood with, as far as skills go. I don't know where I'm going now. I'm off to the one park that might not be absolutely flooded at the moment. We've been spending all of our time here. There are other parks in my save. It's just this is the one I know that probably won't be getting rained on. So we gotta make it across the monkey bars a couple times. Another action that takes significantly longer than you think it should. Not as long as a game of marbles, though, apparently, so that's something. Just, fast forward to that. Aspiration complete. And now I think we're done everything. So we're done all of our aspirations. And it's a good thing, too, because I'm pretty sure we're in our last day of being the age that we are, we're going to collect our last couple badges here. Realize that we have more badges to get. Yeah, I think tomorrow we're gonna level up. We're gonna age up regardless. So we're gonna stay up all night and finish our last few badges. And I don't know that we have to go to the last meeting, but I'm making a point of going to the last meeting just so that I don't lose responsibility. So we got Young Scientist, Civic Responsibility, and Fitness. Young Scientist is easy. I've already done a fair amount of it. Oh yes, our aunt came over while we were doing this. I'm just gonna get our fitness badge by boogieing down, as it were. Takes longer than you might think. So I got Enzo making messes for me here, which, you know, it's getting his character values down. I brought down the radio, so she's dancing while he makes messes, and then she cleans them up. This is probably the most effective system I've worked out thus far. I suppose I could have put things into the... oh, and he passed out in his mess. I could have gotten a garbage can and kept putting things in the garbage can and had her take it out, but I think this was serving both of our needs. So we got our fitness badge there. And so we do not have time for you to keep passing out. Alright. And that should be all of our badges done. So, we then moved our needs crystal from in the living room to up in our bedroom. We're going to collect our badges. Honestly, the needs crystals have been the MVP for this series so far. I don't think I could have done nearly as much without them. Especially because, for some reason, kids can't take the plentiful needs potions. I have those for when she turns a teenager, though. They are a game changer. For high school and college. I've never used them after that, generally, but for high school and college, oh, very useful. So I have technically reached the top of the career, but I know that if I quit Scouts now, you take a responsibility hit, which isn't hard to get back, but it's still something I'd rather not. So I'm still going to go to my meeting tomorrow and then level up, or sorry, age up. And then I'm going to switch her to drama for when she's in high school. So we're just planning the birthday party for the twins. And we're going to invite all of our our cousins and aunts and uncles and all that stuff. And this is when I'm realizing that a couple of my cousins have already aged up. Not all of them, 2 out of the 3. The twins, actually. Or I guess the 3 of the 4. So, before the scout meeting, I'm just alternating between writing in my journal and playing with my doctor's toy. I'm checking the list here now, making sure I've got my Lamacorn scout. I've done all that. I got my milestones. I got my marbles. Got my hammy postcards. Putting my postcards into my inventory to count them for my collection. Just checking the collection here. I've got the entire row of my first pet stuff postcards. So I'm going to work on the rest of them after that. Starting once we age up. So I'm putting everything into the keepsake box. Once the keepsake box... once Mom is, an elder, she's gonna give the keepsake box to Cleo, and then we will have all that. Now, hopefully, it doesn't break. The other boxes that you can get with like Eco Lifestyle and such, they have a tendency to break, so you can't take stuff back out of them. I don't know. So, we're going to start the birthday party. We're going to do a little bit of decorating for the birthday party. And wasn't going to decorate the whole house. I'm just decorating the kitchen because that's where we're going to have cake and everything. God, that music is terrible when it's sped up, isn't it? So yeah, just doing a little decorating. This is the Wolf Begun potion. I got that for Cleo when she ages up. Oh, and the matcha cake. So I had to bake like 4 cakes because I could not understand. I ended up making a chocolate cake at the end for the other cake because apparently even with candles in it, guests will take a piece of the matcha cake. Why? Couldn't tell you. So I'm trying to decide what my second trait should be for Cleo. I don't yet know what the deal is with the new Sticky Fingers aspiration, because when they were talking about the aspiration before it came out, they were talking about it being an upgraded kleptomaniac trait, and I like to give my Super Sims the kleptomaniac trait, but if that aspiration gives you a trait that is kleptomaniac, then I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know how she got the romance skill, but apparently, yeah, we're level 3 in that. So, yeah, I didn't know if I needed to get the kleptomaniac skill, and then when I did that aspiration, it would be an upgraded version of it that I would end up getting, or if it's an entirely different trait that you end up getting. So, I was originally going to get it, but I decided otherwise. In this case, I got cheerful. I find this a very useful trait to give Super Sims. It just gives you a random happy buff, which doesn't seem like it's that important, but when you're doing a bunch of stuff, it definitely can be. So, she unfortunately leveled up with the good looks of a generational sim. If you've ever played a sim for a long period of time, you'll know what I mean. So Enzo, I don't want to make him evil, so I think I'm going to make him hot-headed. I think mean and hot-headed are a good start. Again, he's not a genuinely evil person. He's not a bad person. He is the product of his upbringing. So I am going to give him the Sticky Fingers aspiration for the moment. And we'll see what comes of that. Now, they grew up very interestingly. Enzo definitely has his dad's body, and Cleo has the body of a generational sim. So she's got really weirdly shrunken shoulders, a very long face. Her whole body seems to be very small. So I'm going to do some major changes to her when I give her a makeover. So she did manifest as a wolf when she aged up. So we're giving her the Wolf Begun now. And there she goes. No more wolf. And surprisingly, she is not actually a spellcaster as well. So I'm not really sure why she was given a Glimmerstone when she was born. So I don't have to worry about getting rid of that at least. But yeah, she has the milestone that she manifested as a werewolf. Which, you know, we're not going to have that happen later, but that's fine. But yeah, so she's not a werewolf anymore, just a regular old human. We're going to get rid of her Glimmerstone, all that kind of stuff, because we don't need it. Not until we are on that part of the challenge. So yeah, as you can see, she's got very strange proportions. Her torso seems almost shrunken. So I'm going to upload a short and upload on TikTok and stuff. I'm going to make over her. I'm going to make over Enzo. Change body proportions, change all that kind of stuff. And yeah, she's going to look very different next time you see her. But we are ready to start the teen stage of our challenge. So really looking forward to that. That's going to be lots of fun. I'm also going to take some time and level up. Sorry, I keep saying level up. Age up the cousin who has not yet aged up. They're all within a couple days of each other, so I'm sure he would have aged up. But he just has not yet. So, gonna age all the cousins up. We're all gonna go to school together. It's gonna be wonderful. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.